See, I asked you if you'd ever been more confident of a Scotland win. And I agree with you. The performances don't necessarily dictate that. Some of the sort of the history, the recent history very much does, in that obviously 4 out of your last 6 Calcutta matches you've won. Only lost one of the last 6. Obviously, there was that draw at Twickenham. 3 in a row. Does anyone know when the last time Scotland won 4 on the bounce against England was?
I know, but early 70s, it was a good run, wasn't it? Under Peter Brown, the hammer of the English. But
1890.
Go on. Yeah, go on.
1895.
Oh, that's one of them. 1893 to 1896.
That's it. Wow.
So, Chewy, that's pretty remarkable. Anyway, obviously, you're on the cusp of repeating something that hasn't happened in 130 years. So, obviously, I know you said that you're not necessarily the most confident you've ever been, but there is plenty of reason with this fixture in particular to be confident.
100%. And obviously, watching England last weekend, and even though I've got no affiliation to them, I'll still watch the game and I'll still analyse it in a way. And you're looking at Felix Jones and you're looking at South Africa defend and how England are defending now, which is pretty clear and different from where they are. If anyone can pick off people flying out of lines, it might be Finn.
Yeah.
And that's the different thing. Hugh Jones is a very good line runner of blitz defences.
Yeah.
Can we then get the space for them to fill into with Sione, Hugh, Cam, all these 3? Can them 3 or them 4 make sure we dent big holes around it? Because if we get holes, we'll get edges.
And I think that's what happened in 2018, wasn't it? I mean, there were big holes and Russell made hay.
Yeah, and weather will be important. If it stays dry, if it's not windy, to allow us to play like that. Set piece will be massive. Can we get scrum? Can we get line out? Set piece to have a crack at them? Because if we're going to be blitzy and narrow, he's got a kicking game that'll go cross field. England have got Freddie Stewart, who's an exceptional aerial player. But with Van der Merwe or a Steyn or a Kinghorn that's 6'5" as well, we're now going to make this a contest potentially. If the centres and wingers are closing, we can isolate 15 because that's how South Africa have defended for the last 5 years.
Is Kinghorn fit?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
He's back in squad training, so that's another asset around there because he's aerial skills, which allows them to Finn to bring in his other aspect, his kick pass. So, look, it is intriguing. It's just whether we've got the mindset and attacking mindset to say we're going to have a real go at England and we're going to make it difficult. We may concede 1, but we're going to try and create 3. And then we're going to go back and we're going to recycle it again. Because the only team in the world that can play multi-phase is Ireland, and nobody else can play it like them. Nobody, by a country mile.
But one of the things that was made of the last time the teams play, I know that Rega came off and he referred to a gap in fitness or an edge in fitness that he felt that Scotland had. I wonder if you think that that's still there from what you've seen of England.
I would probably look at the bench and who comes on and who doesn't come on. What bench England pick. Tuolangi and Lawrence have been out. People like Dan Cole and people like that, and Marla are older. Can we run them around a little bit? But there's lots of things to say. Who's coming on, and the fitness in the end of the game is going to be crucial.
Dan Cole played in the game that they lost in 1896.
Yeah, exactly. And you were reporting on it.
Well, indeed, and
exactly. You were 54 then as well. That was
to be honest, Brian, I think you win the game if your line-out stacks up. I think the line-out is massive on the weekend, huge.
Yeah, and that's part of who's going to play, because England have a different back row solution with. Do they pick the big back row to make it? Having that extra 6 is a massive. Losing Courtney Laws as a 6 is a big loss. Why does South Africa compete so well at set pieces with Toit and there's 2-second rows? It's huge. A 6 can disrupt everything. You have to then go 5-man lineouts, and you get 5-man lineouts. You congest the midfield. What does Scotland want? Ideally, full lineouts to go. So we can isolate 1-on-1s, but if you go 5 and 6s, you've got back rowers out there, the likes of Ben Errol, that'll be like a little pest scuttling around on the floor. Great. It's easier. So there are lots of ways that you can skin a cat. It just, as you say, can we have a set piece that's going to stack up? fingers crossed they can, because that's been challenges in the past for us, and it'll be a challenge for England to who they select in that sixth position.
You mentioned the Felix Jones blitz defense, and I think there's a really interesting dynamic there because obviously, yes, of all people, all 10s in the world, Finn is one to pick apart dog legs and gaps in the defense as a result of blitz defense. But the South African blitz defense did keep him pretty quiet in the World Cup in 2023. I think that is then a sort of antidote to the fact that not only will England have Finn Russell in their head, but they will very much have the ghosts or the nightmares of Duhan van der Merwe from last year. So what do you make of that sort of dynamic where are England trying to stop those two massive threats from which there's a very real memory within most of the squad actually at source? Or England, are they being a bit more hesitant as a result because they don't
You can't do a blitz defense and be hesitant. It is all or nothing. So it is, everyone's in. Kitchen sink the lot. We're buying into it and we're not stopping. That's the only way to do a blitz defense. So that won't be discussed. That will be their way. How can Finn deal with it? Scotland game against South Africa, it was both sides of the pitch. Van der Merwe had a 3-on-2. Darcy Graham had a 3-on-2. And we didn't take either. And against that blitz D, you may only get 2 chances. Because against South Africa, you don't get a set piece chance. You can't maul them. You can't outscrum them. Whereas can we outscrum England? Can we outmaul England? I think there's more parity in there. There's an opportunity. If we have to go there, we'll go there. But we also we've got to back our instinct. As I said at the very start, Finn, back your instinct. Everybody else, you have got to work your nuts off to be in a position where he has choices. If not, we'll struggle.